All right, let's check this out. Start the truck.
This was cool.
It's actually sounding pretty good right now. It's been making a loud squealing sound that's gotten worse and worse, and the air coming out of the vents has diminished a lot. I did take the fan out already once and applied some spray Teflon lubricant to the electric motor bushings, and it helped a little bit for about a day, and then it started right back. You can start to hear that sound now. It's getting louder and louder. So the bearings on the motor are burning up, and unfortunately not easy to replace. I was going to take it apart to take a look at them a little more closely, but then I was worried about not having a fan at all, and it's winter. I don't want to risk having the ice on the window, so I did get my replacement motor and fan unit, so we're going to swap that out here. I'll show you how it's done. So here's the new fan, and I'll have to forewarn you, there are several manufacturers of these, and they range all over the board in quality, from absolute garbage that won't come on unless you turn your fan dial all the way up to the highest setting, to, you know, OEM original equipment quality. This one had pretty good ratings. A company, TYC. Again, this is a replacement for a 2006 Toyota Highlander. Here's some of the identification. So this is it. This is what we're going to be replacing, and it's easier to show you now than when I'm up under the dashboard. So give you a quick overview. Basically, there are just 3 small screws that will hold this into the dash, and then there is a cable here which helps hold all the wires, and a second one here. So those 5 points are what you're going to need to pay attention to. First, when you're under the dash, you're going to unhook the wiring harness from here, and then you're going to unplug it from here. See if I can get that in the video. It's kind of dark in here. Right there. There's some lights on. Get a little more light in here. And it plugs in there. And your screws come out. It does, thankfully, at least the original equipment is snug enough that it won't fall out of your dash after you get the screws undone. Super helpful when you're putting a new one in and you need it to stay put and give you a few minutes to get one or two of the screws in. Otherwise, you're going to have to be pushing this up into the dash, keeping it centered while you're trying to get the screws back in. So that's what we're going to do right now, is go under the dash and take out the existing one. So let's hop outside. It's pretty easy job to swap the fan. Pretty much only need a socket, which is 732. I don't have a metric socket this size, so I'm just going to use this one. Closest fit. A pair of needle nose pliers can help when you're trying to push down the clamp to remove the electric wire. Other than that, really, this is all you need to do this job. Let's go. So here's the objective. Let's take a look under here. There's the motor that we're going to be removing. Notice that the motor has kind of an extension that sticks out here. That should be pointing towards your dash when you install the new one. So here's the connector. I've already taken the cable out of this harness previously when I was putting the Teflon lubricant on. So we're just gonna push this little tab up underneath here. It's kind of hard to see. This little tab, I'll point at it with this right here. Push that up and pull out. And it takes a little bit of pressure. You might want to put a pair of pliers on this. I might have to put the phone down to do this. Yep, be right back. The wiring harness is out. Right there. So next we're going to take out the 3 screws. got our 3 screws out. And so we're gonna reach up here, give us a little wiggle, pull the old one out with the old, and with the new. So what I like to do is just finger tighten the bolts and then come back with the socket. Pointy note though, be really careful. Like all modern cars, everything's plastic junk. You over tighten them and they're stripped and you're gonna be up a creek. Probably have to use like PC7 epoxy, fill the hole in, wait for it to set overnight, and then put the fasteners back in. So go gentle on this. I prefer not using the leverage of the arm on the socket set so it doesn't apply too much torque. Let's get this one back here. Thankfully there are only 3 of these, but again, there's only 3 of them. So if you do strip one, you're gonna be a little bit of trouble. Nice and snug, but not too snug. Before I place the new motor in, I should have removed this little clamp and put it on the new motor. I'm gonna do it now after the fact, but just a heads up, you're probably gonna need to pry this piece of plastic, actually break this off in order to get to the clip underneath to remove it. It's one of those type things you snap in and it's set and there's really no way to remove it. So once you get your new motor has arrived, you're ready to replace it, just snap this off the old one. We are all tucked back in here with the wires. Got the harness through this lock and we're all plugged in. So let's fire up the truck and give it a go.
Care.
Nice. Runs very quiet. We're back in business. Bring on the ice and snow.